it is difficult to get a meeting with these people.
So
Now
I'd
that
like to
we are
reiterate
here-
what... Sorry.
Yeah, now that we are here, we still have enough stims, and we could procure more should the need arise. So, yes, there shouldn't be any issue or timescale at this moment.
What do we do in the meantime?
Act natural.
Do we want more dinner at my mother's place?
Perhaps after this is done.
Yeah, so the deal is, if you guys remember, everything is based around the equator of this planet. So you take, there's the equatorial line, which runs a very high-speed grav train all the way around the planet. And the spaceport you landed at originally is like the main central hub for everything. It's where the university is, it's where everything is. But there are smaller spaceports scattered around that belt area. So you could definitely go land at a smaller one. Security might be lesser, but you know from experience that it's not going to be weak at any point.
Yeah.
And based on what's going on here, Dr. Fisher, you also know that there are very heavy monitoring programs for ships leaving and coming, so that there is no accidental exposure. So you know, like, the option of going and landing somewhere won't work as well as it did back on that one planet where they were only TL3. These are TL4, and they will have spaceships that will be on you instantly.
We have to go to a space station.
Yeah. You're definitely going to cause problems, and you guys might be able to run, but this is the wrong place to do it from.
Could I roll a Pylos culture check to see if I know perhaps where one of the more weaker space stations?
Yeah, like you want to look for the slums, right? Like you want to recall upon your information. Yeah, absolutely, that's great. Roll it with intelligence. I think that's fantastic.
So pretty much we're trying to land in the Brazil of Pilos.
Right, yeah. You're trying to land in the low customs area, which even here is going to be pretty strict. But, you know, maybe they don't have the incinerators, right? Like, wow,
Nice.
a 12 is
Nice.
nice, yeah. So I think that with a 12, you not only know a place, but you know it is relatively close to where perhaps some of the major problems occur, and that's probably why it's a little bit run down. It's not as heavily fortified. So yeah, you know a place.
There's like 3 guys running the whole thing.
No.
No, there's only 100 instead of 1,000.
Right. That's
okay.
pretty accurate, yeah. Right, and like I said, they probably don't have the incinerators, but the checks are probably still very similar.
Mm-hmm.
But at least, you know, you could maybe get to the ship in time.
Maybe not die instantly. That's
Right,
always a plus.
yeah. Maybe not, I go, don't even bother rolling.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't do that, you know.
Maybe you have 1 action before you die.
Yeah. Maybe you get to pull out your gun at least.
Shoot yourself before they shoot you.
Right,
Those are your
yeah.
options.
Maybe you get to commit seppuku and, you know, retain your honor. So there you go. Yeah, you know a place. Good roll. And thank you for that skill check. That's awesome. I like it when that happens. Okay.
Okay, go. Land in these coordinates.
Yeah, so you... Boop, 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 boop.
I'm pretty sure we land at like full throttle.
Yeah,
You know,
like the fucking
Hey,
atmosphere is
Jordan.
burning up and shit, yeah.
can I build off that and say that I'd like to make a tactics roll, like conspiring with him about details that he so obviously has?
Sure. I think it would be more applicable like when you're there to like evaluate.
That's
the
what I
situation.
mean. But I feel like
Totally.
we would be discussing.
So you want to have basically a conversation
about,
beforehand.
Yeah.
Sure. I'll let you make the roll, and then I'll just use it as the roll while you're there too.
Well, I mean, we can do it whenever it's appropriate, but I would like to.
Yeah, totally, absolutely.
Try and figure out how.
Yeah,
like once we see it.
How
get through.
How about this? I'll use that as an assistance to your tactics roll, and you can get a +1 when you roll.
Lovely.
Excellent. So you guys arrive at the spaceport, which, again, it still has. So if you remember last time we landed here, there was the metal doors that came over the ship, right? You were like basically like locked in. It has that, but I think the immediate thing that you notice is as you're kind of landing, they're no more than simple like steel shutters. So in a pinch, you could probably full throttle your way out of them.
I could cut us out of there.
You could spend some time cutting you out of there. Yes, absolutely.
By cut, I mean blast.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Just also remember, Oscar, I remember when we were talking about that and it was clarified by Kevin how that actually works. I would definitely use it that way, because that seems way cooler. And eliminates the problems. But yeah, I'm just mentioning because we haven't used the ability since we've talked about that.
Yep. No, I'm on board with.
Yeah. Because
I understand the clarification. Of
and it makes so much more sense as to why you can't use it on moving targets.
Right.
So totally, but yeah, no, absolutely, that would definitely work. Blowing a hole big enough for the ship, maybe not, but you could at least weaken it enough that it would be easier to get out. So yeah, it is at least accessible with minor hindrances. So that's the first thing you notice about like the lesson security, but it's obvious that like they still put effort into it, which also with Oscar's mind, you're now thinking with all of the knowledge that you have now, right? Like you look back and you saw all of the things and you're like, oh, and now every time you look at it, you like, it just keeps ringing up like, oh, I understand. I get it. Like this is so somebody, I don't know, can't steal a ship and fly away. Not necessarily to, it's designed to keep people here, not protect them. So you eventually land and you do all the proper docking procedures. So as it was said by you there, Will, getting him on will be easier than getting him off. For obvious reasons, because when you change someone's entire biological makeup, it tends to send up some red flags. So the question is, what does everyone try and get off of the ship with? Again, I assume the big guns are not coming because they would not be allowed, and the rules are still the same here. But if you want to go ahead and make that tactics roll, Matt, with a +1. You can identify what you might be able to get away with, the best entrance escape paths, that kind of thing.
Yeah. The primary thing that he's looking for is opportunities or like avenues to get him back out.
Right. Okay, cool. So like maybe you spend some time like on the ship like watching the people coming into the spaceport.
Right, so he's looking at like schedules, he's trying to see who reliably shows up late, or the guy that drinks too much coffee and then disappears for an hour every morning.
Right, totally.
That
Yeah, roll me a tactics roll. That's not bad.
It's okay.
So I think the thing that you realize very quickly that is
my tactics rolls for something else.
Oh, okay.
I'd like to see if there's a way to get something in I'm not supposed to bring.
Ah, okay. Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So Oscar, you very quickly realize that the men and women that are on guard here are very diligent, right? But that is actually their downfall as well. because
they're predictable.
In opposition to the previous spaceport that you came into, when you hear that womp womp womp, all of the people that are on duty also react. So you have a window every 2 hours for 10 minutes where they will still be there and guarding, but they may be distracted. Does that seem what a 9 feels good to you?
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess we sort of knew that already, so I don't know that that's... We knew that everyone, regardless of their station, was expected to participate.
Right, but that's actually not the case in the old one. In the old one, there were still people monitoring.
Okay.
There was enough staff where they traded off and someone was constantly monitoring.
Okay, that is actually new information.
That's what I was getting at.
Okay.
Here it is different because everybody does it, and there is not constantly someone monitoring what's going on.
So they're not so well staffed that some of them can shirk off or feel like they don't have to.
Correct. There's no rotation for the cleaning. It is whoever's on duty, that's what they clean.
Roger.
Okay, cool. So, Devin, your 10 is pretty good.
Yeah.
I think that with a 10, most appropriately, you realize that there are no incinerators here.
Okay, good.
I mean, that's obvious, so that's not your 10. You do realize that there is kind of the same procedure, though, but it appears to be manned, not kind of automatic scanners and stuff like that.
Okay.
So a tactic you may be able to use is, I mean, like, so if you had cybernetics, you obviously could hide one inside of those special chest cavities, but you don't. But this is probably a place far enough removed that you may be able to talk your way into having to. Or, I think more appropriately, Dr. Fisher, being a hometown person, might be able to get something on, where back in the major city, that wouldn't be a thing.
Okay.
And so I think that your avenue that is best appropriate is probably for, like, Dr. Fisher to maybe carry some disassembled parts and be like, oh, I'm just taking this to get repaired, and it would probably work, and then you maybe carry a couple of other disassembled parts. Like, open carry isn't going to happen, but if you wanted to, like, sneak something in, that would probably be your best way, because Dr. Fisher is a resident, and they're going to treat him a little bit more lax than they will you.
Yeah.
Where at the other place, they definitely would not. They'd incinerate Dr. Fisher.
What if it was something a little larger?
Like a sniper rifle?
Yeah. Could we do the same process, just pieces?
I think that you could. Dr. Fisher may have to lie, though. He may actually have to make a roll on that to
Is this really where this is all going to go to shit?
Well, I don't know if I need it yet.
It wouldn't be particularly difficult. Because again, he does get treated with a bit more respect than anything else. But he might have to convince somebody it's not a combat-ready sniper rifle. Right. Yeah, he might have to convince somebody, like, oh no, it's a relic, or, oh no, it's a hunting rifle, like something outside of, yeah, this is a combat sniper rifle, and I could snipe you from 1,500 meters accurately with the pinpoint of a penny, right?
Yeah, it's like, I'll keep the firing pin, you take the rest of the rifle, and now it's a replica.
Right, yeah, maybe something like that would work, totally. Okay. And probably don't give him the ammunition either.
Oh, no.
Right, like, keep that on you so they don't put the two together. Mm-hmm. The other interesting thing here too, that is advantageous, I think, to both sides of these tactics roles, is at the old spaceport you had your own individual dock and your own individual entrance. Here, everybody lands in the spaceport, and then you all go to the same checkpoint.
So we could be coming from any ship.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, like, if they track it back on video camera, maybe they see you two come off the same ship. But you could at least, like, stagger yourselves, right? Like, that's another advantage that you have in this instance.
Okay.
Because they just don't have the facilities to make individual spaceports for all of the freighters and shit.
Okay. To be clear, though, I'm not trying to bring it on yet. I just wanted to see what the process would be to get it on.
Totally.
Yeah.
All right. Gogo, would you like to try and sneak anything on? Or roll?
Her claws, claws, and Chan. That's all she needs.
Claws, claws, and Chan. Yeah, and I think the claws, because they're cybernetics, I don't think will, like, somebody may question you, but it's not like you can remove them.
It's like, what are they gonna do? Like,
right, yeah. Like,
I promise I won't use them.
You might get strong words coming through the gate, like, make sure you keep those things retracted, or you may have to use force, right? Like,
sure.
You may get like, heckled a little bit, but
also I can say, like, I got them on this planet.
Right, totally. That is a thing that you could have had done here. Absolutely.
I have the receipts right here.
Yeah, right? I know the lady.
Yep, exactly. And yeah, it's just, you just might get heckled. That's it.
Understood.
Okay, fantastic. So, the group of you disembark. How are we transporting Chan? Or do we need to figure that out? Because that actually seems...
figured we were going to pretend, like, just basically take him in on a gurney.
Oh, I mean, like I thought you were going to go with Weekend at Bernie's him, but okay.
I could put him in my power armor and just, like, walk him in.
I mean, why, though? What? You guys are monsters.
Like a grotesque marionette of some sort.
I almost want to see that done.
Just remember, the power armor's outlawed.
Yeah, I was figuring
not draw attention.
I would just, float him in on a gurney and we'd keep him covered, Like, say that he's a patient in cryo. Like, tell them...
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing you do. I just,
like... That is what's happening, right? It's not like we're lying about that.
Right, no, absolutely. Yeah. And that's not... I guess getting him off the ship and through security isn't really what I mean, because that won't be super hard to do. More that, how are you doing it after that?
That's still to be...
Okay, sure, still to be determined. I understand. So you get you have grav loaders, right, for loading and unloading cargo and stuff like that. So you can totally place the gurney on top of that and just push Chan along, because you probably don't want to rely on MES here, Oscar, especially since you know more about this than some of them. That may not be good.
I would like to minimize that, but if it comes down to it...
Sure, yeah. If I have to telekinetic ram something, I will. So yeah, you guys have the gurney on a cargo loader, basically. And you guys disembark, and you head off through the security checkpoint. It seems fairly light on traffic right now. You probably know that it's... I should say, when I say you, Dr. Fisher, you probably know that it's because it's kind of a slow time of year. The mid-August area is not a very, popular time for people to be going. I would say they keep general, this is their summer break from university mostly, so most people are, gone off planet. So there's not a whole lot of, through traffic, especially since you guys are kind of out in the boonies as well. So you enter in, and again, as long as you're not trying to bring anything bad right now, I'll assume that Fortune, you have the revolver, and right. Oscar, you have the one sword, and you have the laser pistol, Fisher, and you have your claws, Gogo.
Yep. He's got what was cleared last time.
Sure.
So he's got jacket, ornamental, quote unquote, sword, and the shield.
CFU. Oh yeah, and the shield, right? Yeah,
because they let him through with that.
Yeah, they did, and I think that
so
there's a
if
moment.
It comes up, he could say check your security logs.
I think that's exactly what happens when you get up to security and you get through, and they scan you with these hand scanners and inspect your items and stuff that you bring, with some scanners, and they're physically looking at them too. You see them run your scan your ID, right? And you see them like there's a man and a woman. They're like talking and like to each other and like pointing at the shield and discussing it. And you see the woman like looks at a computer and she looks at the man. She shakes her head and she gives him a thumbs up. And clearly that's what they were doing, right? It was like they were like, I don't know what this is. We need to check it. Run his ID. Oh, he's had this item, has been approved, cleared by supervisor XXX whatever. So yeah, you get that moment of like, oh yeah, that's right, this got cleared last time, and then you proceed in. And also as you guys come through and they scan your IDs, and they get you through customs, they say welcome back, right? Because it's obvious that they also record everybody that comes in and out, probably for very specific reasons. Dr. Fisher, I assume you're with the patient 0, as we'll call him from now on.
That sounds great. I love that.
I've been waiting to use that joke for like 7 weeks now.
So this is how the arc dies.
Oh yeah, no. If anything's gonna kill it, it's going to be this. Just FYI.
You guys make me sad.
No. You'll see when you get there. So you get up, and they're no stranger to having patients come through security, right? Like, Eurypylus is the medical planet of the sector. Many people come here looking to cure their illnesses or diseases or injuries or whatever. It is a little more rare out here. Like, typically if you're coming for like a serious incident, you're going to the main hub, right? Like, you're not coming to this kind of far-reaching place. But what's your story when you get there, Dr. Fisher? Like, what's your spiel real quick?
Yeah. Sorry, we don't actually have too many assets to procure the services of some of the more highly reputable doctors within the main city. So, unfortunately, we have to try our luck out here.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that's a very good answer, right? Like, they probably get that a couple of times a week, and they just nod, and they like one of them probably notices your accent, right? And probably like puts a hand on your shoulder and like gives you like a sad like look and says, "I wish you luck on my dead mum, mate."
Did you forget it's Spockney here?
Oh, I have become rusty with my Cockney accent.
No pressure or anything.
Yeah, you weren't expecting it. It's fine. You just like give him a nod.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. And you enter in. That was Megan's favorite part about this planet, besides getting claws, if I remember correctly.
Oh yeah, no, actually, Will's mom was my favorite part of this.
Will's mom was pretty great. That's true. That's
She
a good
was
character.
so nice to me.
Yeah, you were also high out of your fucking mind.
I mean, still, Gogo liked her.
Yeah, no, you probably gained like 5 pounds, just like in that night.
Which is now completely gone.
Right, which now
hasn't eaten in 10 days.
Right,
so it's
yeah,
fine.
totally.
It's all fine.
So, you guys enter with little to no problems. Just the, kind of heckling about the claws and like, the double check on the shield and then the double check on the patient, right? But then you guys are in, and you know the area probably not like well, but it's like maybe you visited here once, Dr. Fisher, with a 12. I would assume with a 12 you've at least been here once, maybe not grown up here or, know every back alley and shady dealer or whatever, but yeah, you maybe like can recognize landmarks. And it is a bit more rural. It's probably on like the maybe like, a quarter of the way around the planet from this central hub. So not quite like way out in the rural district, but still far enough out that you're, kind of in the same culture I guess you kind of grew up in, because it's sort of like close to how your old place was, right? It is cold as well, so make sure everybody has, all their warm clothes and stuff on. So what do you do, Dr. Fisher?
Yeah, all eyes are on Fisher at this point, because we don't have any clue what we're doing.
Yeah. You need transport. You need a plan to get wherever. And maybe this is the point I should ask. How are you going to contact these individuals? These things? Question mark?
I mean, you're all looking at me as if this is the best plan. There's, best made plans of mice and men and all that spiel.
Is this in character?
I really hope so.
I hope so.
It's indistinguishable, so.
It's the same. They're the same, so it's fine.
Yeah, you're right. It basically is Will, so I mean...
Yeah, hold on. Wait, what?
Yeah, you basically made yourself, so I mean,
This is the most Will
always,
character I've ever
always
experienced, so...
I think, for starters, we should procure a place to rest should we need it.
Yeah, seems good. You can totally go do that.
This may take more than a few hours.
Okay. So you can totally find a place to rest at. There are going to be questions about having a body with you? Question mark. But there are definitely
transit.
Yeah, so there are definitely halfway homes that kind of serve this purpose, right? Where there's a place to plug in a medical bed if you need it, and, access to some basic medication. Because again, this is not an uncommon thing that occurs. The problem is, and I think immediately Oscar and Fortune, you guys pick up on this, the place isn't as secure as a standard hotel would be, right? Think of it as one of those long-term stay motels. Because sometimes patients might have to stay here and receive home care for weeks on end, right? So it's got slightly more comforts, perhaps, than a hotel does. Maybe it's got something to cook food with and a fridge and maybe cable or Babel or whatever the space equivalent is.
HBO.
But you are a little more exposed to the outside world than you would be kind of locked in a hotel room.
Well, that, there's something to be said for that also being somewhat inconspicuous if you look like you're not
Absolutely.
trying to hide anything.
Absolutely.
If we went in and demanded high security lodging, that might also raise flags.
Yeah. Especially since you just told the guards at the gate that you're super poor and can't afford medical care.
Right.
Also, once we get past the gate and they get to this point of okay, well, we're gonna do this for the medical, blah blah blah, I'm like, all right, you guys have fun with that. I'm gonna go do some stuff.
Okay.
And I'm out.
Okay. Perfect. I like that. You're not actually leaving though, are you, Devin?
I'm gonna be on planet.
Oh, I meant the game, right now.
I mean, physically.
No, because I'm thinking about ending in just a few minutes anyway, after we get this secured and everything, and I had the final scene with you, so...
Nope, that's fine.
Stick around for a few minutes. So, you guys go secure lodging and, translate all information. Jesus, I almost called you your D&D character. Because it's been 7 weeks. Dr. Fisher. What do you... Yeah, I almost said it. What's the next step? You've secured lodging, I am genuinely curious when you are going to tell everybody else what is even a semblance of what's going on. Is it going to be when you're in the truck with Chan in the back and there's no turning back?
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty good...
Okay.
It's gonna be when the procedure is completed and successful.
Right.
That's when we're gonna let them know.
Well, yeah, it's not even it's either you because here's the deal. You're not gonna be able to just drive up. That. It depends very highly on how you play it. Because
Hence my
it's
comments.
it's not like these people would have a particular give a fuck about you. You know what I mean? In fact, Dr. Fisher, they may actually hate you.
Yeah.
Like, you in particular.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm just checking when that's going to come up, because that's going to be important, and I need to know. So, you get the hotel. What do you do about securing, like, transit or, like, I'm calling it a roadmap, but like a plan of attack for this? And maybe Oscar, maybe this is something that you guys have talked about. Maybe we have a flashback scene, right, where maybe you pry for some more information and receive it, Oscar, and can help input here.
Pry from who?
From Fisher, because like he didn't give you really the nitty-gritty about how these people work, at least from his perception.
What Oscar... See, I feel like he actually got a lot of information in the talk that they had.
Oh yeah, no, you did.
What he was told was that there is some entity, some number of people who are suppressing but not eliminating a population of these exposed, like, patients.
Metahumans.
So yeah, he is... I suppose he would ask, on the way at least, for clarification, like, okay, well, who do you need to call? Who do we need to get in touch with? Do we have to pay them? How well do you know them? That sort of a thing. But, like, the way that it was described to him made it seem like we kind of already had an in.
Oh, yeah, I know. That's why I'm asking.
That might be misleading, but that's what his understanding is based on what he was told.
Right, and that's why I'm prompting you to ask questions now, because at this juncture, it sounds like Dr. Fisher's going to be forced to give up a little bit more information than he did in the first juncture.
Sure.
But I mean, like, those standard questions seem good. Like, Dr. Fisher, how would you handle
yeah, like, where are we right now? Are we in the hotel?
In the motel, sure.
Sure. So he, we're a little bit light on specifics, so Oscar would press you for some of that. So he'd say, Fisher, how do we contact these people? Do we even need to? Do you have credentials? What is our plan of attack?
I mean, I do not fully know. These are people I, for obvious reasons, have not had a chance to interact with directly. Of course.
Directly. You previously made it sound like you knew quite a bit about them, so much that I assumed you had worked with them before. So that's not the case.
I'm afraid the closest I have actually got to them is when they launched a failed raid on one of the transit cars I was in a few years back.
Come again?
A failed raid? What are you talking about? Why would doctors be raiding a car?
You have some explaining to do. I was under the impression that we were coming to meet with associates of yours. This may represent a glaring omission of information.
Anything in the
It's
name of
beginning
science.
to smell like willful omission.
As I believe I told you before, Oscar, these people do not directly mingle with the regular populace of Eurypylos.
Yes, and it sounded like they... Fisher, are we meeting with the patients?
Yeah, you could say that.
This is not
man,
what
I'm
I was led to
I'm
believe.
so glad I'm going to help him with it.
You told me these people were essentially under lock and key. Now I learn we're to work with them directly. Is that accurate?
From what I understand, the treatment that Chan would need, it would be directly from these patients, as you said.
So as a reminder to Will, because it's been a while since me and him talked about this, you do know that there are some aspects of this faction who are willing to work with and integrate and understand. There is a much more vast majority that is not. And there is a smaller minority that will probably eat you on sight. So, it all really depends on how the luck saves go. But I think that, do you have anything else to add to that conversation or say, Oscar?
I mean, we need some details here, I think, still.
So maybe we set into, we get the fade out scene of, you begin grilling Dr. Fisher and he begins trying to explain things.
Yeah.
And Fortune, where are you going and what are you doing?
We fade out as Gogo and Oscar set upon Fisher.
Because Gogo's even more confused than you, Oscar, and is getting more and more impatient and frustrated that he doesn't seem to have as much of a plan as he led Gogo also to believe. So,
yeah, it's gonna be great for Will next week. Fortune, what are you doing?
I am I'm going to find a bar and get something to drink.
That's a doable action.
And 2, I'm trying to find off-the-record Claris group work.
Okay. I think that's appropriate for the scene that I'm about to show you right now. So, in the chaos and hubbub of getting on planet and, finding a place to stay, you finally link in, you find a bar, you get, what do you get to drink? It feels extremely important. This is an old-fashioned?
Yeah, bourbon on the rocks. There's no need for a sweetener right now.
Okay, cool, yeah. So just bourbon on the rocks. You take a sip, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good here.
Good.
You're at a decent place, not like a dive bar. It's like a fairly reputable looking establishment. And you you flip open your compad and you connect to the second net for the first time since getting on planet. And you have 2 encrypted messages from Claris. You know they're from Claris because they're encrypted with Claris encryption.
Yeah. Open them.
So you open the first one, and in kind of big red letters across the top, it says, contract fulfilled. And it shows you a picture of that box with the question mark over it with an X on it.
Okay.
Letting you know that the mission was completed, because if you remember way back when we talked about Claris missions, is a lot of times it's given to multiple units, and it's kind of whoever gets there first.
Yeah.
And my next question, or I should say my question to you is, do you have any buddies in the Claris group? Maybe people who are not necessarily field agents? Do you have an admin buddy or something?
Probably, yeah. Someone who I usually send my correspondence back to is the same person.
Yeah, so maybe like your handler or something like that? Like maybe a dispatcher, right?
Yeah, probably a dispatcher, someone who sends out stuff, and I'm like, hey,
sure,
I'll get these back to you so you get this submission, but if you send me the things first...
Is there one you particularly like?
Yeah.
And everybody gets call signs, so what do you think their call sign would be?
Probably like probably like Raven.
Raven. All right. You have a message, an encrypted message from Raven, and you realize immediately that it is not, it doesn't have the standard letterhead. It's a personal message on the encrypted channel. You also probably notice the encryption looks different. It looks funny. It looks like it was altered in some way. But without like a further deep dive, you won't really know any more than that. And you see that it is it's like a hastily taken photo from a compad, right? It's like not like a screenshot. It's like if you take a picture of your computer screen, it's got kind of like the fuzzy stuff on it, and it's kind of all messed up.
Yeah.
And like you have to like tap on the picture and like zoom in, and it doesn't have any body to the text.
Okay.
You zoom in, and you see that there is it's a picture of a contract like over someone's shoulder inside of like a command center, right, wherever Claris, probably on the Claris space station.
Yeah.
And the contract has a couple of pictures in it. It has a photo of Oscar, has a photo of Boomer, has a photo of Dr. Fisher. And it shows them in like the target block.
Yeah.
Right? And you zoom in on like the wanted for, and it says multiple homicide. It says the requester is the Paphosian government.
Yes.
And then at that point you're like, well, I don't know if you've ever told Raven about your crew or not. Maybe that's why he notices, but there is another reason that he notices and sent it to you. Below that, it has a known associates column. And you're at the top of the list.
Yeah!
And I will remind everybody that you decided to piss off the people who had already taken a Claris contract out on somebody. In fact, that was the whole reason you were there. So now it appears that they have found some money to put one out on you. And you would have no idea except for the fact that Fortune received this information. So Fortune...
I still have no idea.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, no, absolutely. That's what I mean. True. He may not tell you. I want to know what your just like instantaneous reaction is.
Down my drink and order another.
Yeah. So you take a sip and then you read through. You just I'm sure there's like a blank expression on your face, right?
Yeah.
You just like nod, shake your glass, or you just like you down it, shake your glass, and another one gets poured for you.
Yeah.
You also know two things. One, this is treason for Raven to even send this to you.
Yeah.
Because it clearly is a contract that's not addressed to you, and you're not supposed to know. Like, the whole point of Claris is they work in cells, right? And nobody's supposed to know anything about the other people. So he put his neck out there to tell you this. And two, known associates is a very gray term for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Or at least a lot of the Clerus units. For you probably treat them a bit more kindly.
Yeah.
But anyone else may not. So, there you have it. With that being said, I think that's a great place to end. We actually made our 4 hours. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Jordan, I swear to God, if you spring on us the fact that Pip is a Clerus operative, I am out.
That's awesome. I didn't even consider that.
Already. What?
He's weird. He could be biding his time. You don't know any of that.
Oh, is he like just the super long con assassin? Is that what that is?
I mean, that's a thing. But anyway, does anybody have any final words?
I missed you guys.
It's been real.
Yeah, I missed you guys too. Thanks for showing up today. I appreciate it. We should be all good for next week on my end.
Yeah, this was pretty good.
Matt, can you do me a favor? Can you define good?
I'm gonna try not to metagame the shit out of this from here on out. But yeah, it's a pretty good session.
By the way, everybody take 750 experience.
Woo!
Nice.
Congratulations.
Creeping on up.
Next week, Sunday, normal time, normal place. Should be good with everybody. Yes. Cool.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Fantastic. We're back on track. We missed a lot of weeks, but hopefully we won't miss any more. Thank you guys for coming. I'm going to go ahead and do outro. Yes. Are you going to miss next week?
God damn it, Devin.
No,
Okay.
no, that's not what I wanted to say.
Okay.
I leveled up.
Hey!
No way, really?
Yep, I'm now level 5.
Oh,
I thought you had 6.
Yeah, no,
Six?
he's been way behind you guys.
Wow.
Yeah, my quests keep failing me, so our goals.
Yeah. Gotta play the system sometimes. Although, you'll be happy to know, Fortune, I have an opening for your big one. I've completed most other people's big ones, except for Oscar, who is like, he decided to get rid of that one and go for much smaller ones, but,
Yeah.
Well,
And then come back to the big one.
yeah, totally. But I have an opening for you, so don't worry.
Kind of,
Okay.
but yeah.
Should all the matters currently resolve, then I'll have completed all of my quests.
My goals are just, screwed. But it's fine. It's gonna be okay. It's not a big deal.
You're an expert.
I'm just
It's
never
fine.
gonna level up. It's gonna be okay. My character's probably gonna die before then anyway. It's fine.
I think we're all going to die before then, so it's fine.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, totes. Well, thank you,
Good
everybody.
game.
Good game.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna do outro, and everybody say goodbye. Goodbye.
Goodbye. And I'm gonna head out.
Bye.
Later.
All right, guys. Thanks for being here. It's been super fun. I'm so happy to be back playing Olympus. I miss this game like a fuckload. Thank you all for being here. Gladly appreciate it. Saw some new faces in chat. Thanks for you guys being here. But for everybody on YouTube, thanks for continuing watching wherever you are. And from all of us to you, may the dice always succeed. May you only fail at opportune moments. And as always, try not to die.